About 3 years ago, I made the craziest decision that any Muslim man can make. I dropped out of university. Any white person watching this is probably like, wow, wait, that's normal, what's the problem? But Muslims know, you get so much heat from your community, from your friends, your family, everybody is like tearing you to shreds. Oh, you won't be able to get a woman, you're gonna be single forever. So if you're thinking about dropping out of university, or you're just interested in purpose and how to live your life, then this video is going to be very useful for you. So for the first, I would say about 5 months of dropping out, I was in complete chaos. I'm talking like not knowing what to do, like where is my life going? There's no progression. Eventually, my mind sort of adapts to that new situation. I have more space in my mind to study and learn what I actually want to learn. Not like all the small data, like the numbers that university was teaching me. I'm thinking, what do I actually want to learn? So I opened up a book. The first book I've ever read was Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. That book, bro, that changed my mentality for good. Like I was like, I'm gonna hustle so hard, I'm gonna achieve my goals. What happened was I started to develop self-esteem. In university, in like high school and stuff, everything is really structured, right? You're told what to do. You were in math at this time, you were in English, you were in gym, and then in university is pretty much the same thing. When you've exposed yourself to chaos, after all the pain of not knowing what to do goes away, now you can actually structure your life in a way that's going to lead to where you want to go. In university, yeah, at the end you get this diploma, you pass the exam and you get the diploma, so that's the end goal. Now, after I dropped out and I gained a bit of confidence through reading the book, I was like, what kind of a life do I want to achieve? What is the diploma that I want to get? You know what I'm trying to say. Suddenly I started to construct in my mind like what kind of a life I want to live. I started reading more and more and more books. I ran into a book by Robert Greene, Mastery. That book, it changed the trajectory of my life forever. It talks about purpose, like what are you meant for? I realized that I had to put together all my skills and figure out what I'm actually meant for. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me for? Before you know it, I was so motivated to build myself into the person that I wanted to be. Like I had an image, right? I had like a image of me like being in like a really like in a really good outfit, like in a really good shape, driving nice cars, having the respect of the people around me. And I was so determined to achieve that. It was insane. I never felt this sort of determination in my life. So I'm training really hard. I'm going to like MMA classes. I started praying for the first time. I started reading the Quran. I started like reading the Sunnah. Starting to create like a personal connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I read a ton of books on sales and persuasion because I realized that this is something that I was naturally inclined towards. After a year goes by, I go and join a sales job. I was not qualified for it. Randomly joined a sales job, and now like I'm already like on the phone before I know it. I'm selling things. I'm just following my purpose. I'm not overthinking anything. I'm just doing what feels right for me. I was making more money than 99% of the graduates of my university, of my degree. Like people who graduate, they're making maybe about, let's say, 60K or like 55K a year if they're lucky, because most of them can't even get a job. And I was making like about 85K like at that time from a sales job. It was like sales plus like commission plus base salary, so it was a lot of bonuses. So I'm sitting there making a whole ton of money. As soon as I finish, I'm off to training. I'm like doing wrestling, and then after that I'm doing my Isha, I'm doing my Maghrib, reading books. I have so much energy. I'm not getting tired. When I was in university, wallahi, I would get tired after like 2 hours of lessons. Now I'm going to work. I'm like, I'm going to the gym. I'm doing like MMA, like making videos, like praying, reading, everything full of energy. I'm only sleeping like 5 hours a day. After hearing all this, you might be wondering like, what about all the other consequences? My family, like not being able to find someone to marry. I'm here to tell you that those things aren't as important as you think they are. Your family doesn't necessarily want you to be the person that you are meant to be by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's two separate things. Now, they want you to be as safe as possible. That's one thing. They want to make sure you don't like go broke and you eating out of like empty cans next to a Centrelink shop. But if you truly want to be a man, if you feel like you have the testosterone to go and pursue your purpose, then you shouldn't be listening to them. That's my advice to you. When you follow your purpose, you'll be surprised how successful you get, how quickly. You will be making more money than you would if you finished university, if you are doing what feels right for you. For me, it was sales. Maybe for you, it's personal training. I know guys who make $100 an hour in personal training and they have like 5 or 6 clients a day. They're making more money than doctors by personal training because they enjoy it. They're not even smart. And then there's morons like me who can't even I don't even remember the alphabet, bro. I mean, that might be an exaggeration. I sort of remember it. But there's so many things that you probably know that I don't. But I'm able to succeed in areas that are important for me. And that way, I'm going to be higher than you in pretty much every metric. Just because I'm doing what feels right for me. This is not a brag, this is education. We are told that finishing uni and being knowledgeable is directly connected with deen. And I'm here to tell you that it's truly not. The things they teach at university is not necessarily what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to learn. We need to gain knowledge in proper spheres, right? Like you need to learn some math, you need to learn some science. Fair enough, those things are important. But what about knowledge on how to make yourself into a healthy, mentally healthy human being so that your family doesn't suffer the trauma that you suffered? That's knowledge. That's way more useful than learning the measurements of like a triangle or something. Let's just be honest, just think about the truth and what truly matters to you. If you really think about what truly matters and it turns out that what you are studying in university is something that's truly important, and not like what the subject is, like if you think psychology is important for you, but in university you're studying psychology and they're teaching you all these weird formulas and studies, if that's not important for you, maybe you should drop out and read a bunch of books instead. And then find a career that matches those books that doesn't require qualification. If you do that, I promise you, you come back to me in 2 or 3 years and you will be more successful than you would have been if you went to university. Because that takes your time. There's so much BS that goes into it. It's not religiously correct by any means, bro. You're putting yourself into debt. In most cases, you are delaying marriage. You are falling into haram. The word that I'm going to use here for dropping out of uni is becoming unscripted. Because we're all living a script, right? Like everyone in university is following the same script. I'm going to get my uni degree. I'm going to find a stable job. That's the script. But when you start living life by your own scripting, then you think okay, so what is truly important for me? Marriage. Okay, I'm going to get married. What is truly important for you? Praying. Okay, I'm praying. In university, the people, Muslims around you, you see them and they're not praying. So your norm for being a Muslim is the person who doesn't even pray, who only goes to Jummah prayers or something. You're going to be subjected to the standard that they put on you. And you're never becoming exceptional if you live your life like that. This wasn't meant to be like a hate video on university. I mean, don't drop out of uni just because you watch this video. The action plan for this is to start journaling, start reading books on what truly matters for you. And if you truly think that university, the things you're studying right now aren't compatible with what you want to be, I would say 100% drop out. If you feel like what you're studying is going to allow you to get a degree that's going to allow you to construct the life that you want to live, then keep studying. That's all the advice I can give you. The first link in the description down below, halal risk course, that's going to allow you to attract women without needing to get any degree whatsoever.